I'm about to review the can of wall paint that sits before me because it's my favorite. Let's do it.
I've seen the fruits of a labor. What I have, I built with my own hands.
Yo, what's cracking, folks? Jeremy Vassar here with Practical Painting. We are professional painters here to help you with your various painting endeavors, and in this video I've got another paint review for you. I've reviewed quite a few paints on this channel, but I don't think I've ever actually gone over the wall paints that we use. So that's what this review is about. I'm going to go over the duration line of paints from Sherwin, specifically the matte variety, because that is our current reigning champion for what we use on the walls most of the time. So to put this paint into context, this is a latex-based paint for interior use. So that would be for any interior walls in your house, your living room, your bathrooms, your kitchen, bedrooms, whatever you want. Again, this is, I would say, on the overwhelming amount of jobs that we do, probably over 90%, this is what we're using on the walls. It is a relatively high-end wall paint. Again, it's a latex-based formula, so that means it's water-based, so it's soap and water cleanup, which is very common for anything used in the interior these days. It's super rare to have an oil-based paint being used, specifically on walls. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, and I'm gonna go over it on my normal kind of 5 points that I go over when I review a paint product. So let's get right into the review. Number one is coverage. When I'm looking at a good wall paint, I'm really looking for it to cover most of the colors it's going to go over with 2 coats. So again, and I've said this before, I'm not looking for miracles. If it's a super dark color that's already on the walls, I'm not expecting a really light color to cover. With 2 coats, a lot of times you're going to need to use a primer, and vice versa. If the color on the walls is really light and the color that you're putting on is really dark, I'm not expecting that to cover in 2 coats, and generally you might need to use a dark primer. Anyway, within the bounds of normal painting, where you're kind of staying in the same, I would say, like color depth or darkness, this works really great. We almost never have to do 3 coats. So it covers really well, and that can be something that you run into with lesser quality wall paint, is you get coverage issues where you're getting a lot of bleed through of whatever was on the wall behind it, and that can be super annoying. So this is super easy that way. Almost always, again, just 2 coats and you are ready to rock. Number 2 is workability. That really just refers to how easy this product is to work with. It's kind of my general category where I put a few things in here. So the dry time on this is really nice. It's 1 hour to touch and I think 4 hours to recoat. Yeah, 4 hours. But that's, in my opinion, an overestimation. We get this to dry really quickly. If you run fans or anything to move things along when you're painting, we get 2 coats of this on the walls all the time. And it's not a problem. So again, if you're looking to do 2 coats in a day, this works really well. I've even done 3 coats. That's a rarity because, again, when I talked about coverage, most of the time we only have to do 2 coats. The other thing with this is the way that the technology works in this paint, you don't have to be as concerned with keeping a wet edge when you're cutting and rolling. Cutting just means when you're like edging with a brush around what you can't roll. If you have very finicky paint, a lot of times you have to keep a wet edge. You'll hear a lot of old timers talk about this too, where the edging needs to be wet as it's getting rolled into, or else you get some issues, which I'll talk about when we get to sheen and finish. And I've used this product a lot. I should say that too. Like, I've painted thousands of gallons of this stuff, so I'm super used to how it actually works. You don't really need to be that concerned with keeping a wet edge when you're talking about walls. We cut in whole rooms and then roll, and we don't have any problems. Where you're going to see what I'll talk about a little bit of, like picture framing or anything like that. Also, the odor is really minimal with this. They've done a lot with the VOC regulations over the last several years, and this formulation is very friendly to that. It's, very low odor. It's not a problem. I don't really even smell it anymore, but that's because I've done it a lot. Also, I don't have any issues with this flecking off of my brush. Sometimes different paints will whip off the end of the bristles and or drip on the way from the edge of container to the wall. Because I probably also, because I'm so used to working with this, I don't have any issues with that. I can cut it in super fast. That's one of the things that I look for as well, is how fast the paint is. Sometimes if the wall paints are too thick, it takes longer to cut in. That's been more of an issue with some of the Benjamin Moore products I've used. But this cuts in really quick. It doesn't fleck a lot, like I said. And then when you go to roll it, the flecking is also minimal. A lot of times we use this on bathroom ceilings as well, because it has the moisture and mold blocking agents built into it. And so I'm rolling that overhead, and the flecking is minimal. So I've used ceiling paints that are way worse. And again, this works really nicely. And overall, the workability is probably one of my favorite kind of factors about this paint and why we continue to use it so much. Number 3 is sheen or finish. When I'm looking at how a paint product finishes, I'm looking for a uniform finish where I don't see a difference between the cut-in and the roller marks. And so I don't generally have an issue with this product in this sheen. Duration comes in flat, matte, satin, and semi-gloss. So they don't offer an eggshell, except like this product is a lot closer to an eggshell than other matte paints that I've used. So it's a little bit shiny for a matte paint, but because of that, you can use it in a lot of areas. And I'm super used to what this should look like. And when you, like I said before, it's not so finicky that you have to keep a wet edge to have the finish turn out the way that you want it to. So I don't see a lot of picture framing. That's where the cut-ins are visible and you can see where you've rolled into the cuts. It also doesn't tend to do what's called alligatoring, which is like if you had a wall that's slanted up this way and you rolled into it, sometimes you can see where the roller marks went into the paint or went into the cut line. That's super common with paints that don't have a good like finish quality to them. And then just seeing lap marks in the rolling, which is where you see the overlapping marks of the roller going up and down. So again, this product finishes really well. It's it's fairly smooth, and I find that it cures really well, levels out a good amount, and it's the sheen that we use in I would say maybe 90% of the jobs that we do, we're using this exact product on most of the walls in the interior that we're doing. Number 4 is versatility. What's super nice about having a product like this, and I'll get into the details right now, is that it can go in a variety of areas. It says duration, so it is quite durable. It has some rubberizing agents in it. It's got moisture and mold blocking agents built into it too. And then the finish quality is really nice. So because of all that, we've used it in literally every room in a house. So it's durable enough to go in high use areas like stairwells and things like that where people are going to be rubbing on it. But it also has a soft enough finish to go in nicer rooms like your living room or dining room, places that have less traffic. Still looks good on the walls in there. And also because it has the moisture and mold blocking agents built into the formulation, we use it in any bathroom that has a moisture producing element that's going to produce steam. So if you have an actual a master bathroom or a guest bathroom that's got a shower or a bathtub in it that's going to generate a lot of steam, this is what we use on the walls and the ceiling. And what's nice is the matte finish in this is soft enough to go on a ceiling where it doesn't look weird or too shiny, and then it holds up well on the walls. That's why I really like the versatility of this product. I don't have to stock a lot of multiple products. And then if you're looking to, say you're painting the whole interior of your house, this can be your go-to wall paint throughout. And also in your bathrooms, like I said, that have, your shower and bath in them. And that way you're not having to get a bath and spa paint or anything like that. You can just get more of this, which is nice. And I like to keep things simple and straightforward. Number 5 is cost. So depending on when you're seeing this video, prices and participation may vary. Prices have been going up recently. I've been paying more for this too. And if you get this on sale, you should be paying between 45 and 55 bucks a gallon, somewhere in there. Again, that's all relative. I don't know how far in the future you've seen this video. Prices tend to rise over time. But as of the filming of this particular video, This product is right on par with any kind of top tier wall paint. Runs about the same as Regal Select from Benjamin Moore, which is probably what I would compare it to the most. And yeah, it's right around $50-ish a gallon, which may seem like a lot if you haven't bought a lot of paint, but when you look at the overall cost of a job, the majority of the money spent will be on the labor. So if you're doing it yourself, you can save quite a bit of money just doing it yourself, and then you're just worried about the cost of the paint. But in general, if you're painting a bedroom, you're only going to need 2 gallons of this, usually for the walls. Even if you're doing a lot of painting in your house, like 10 gallons goes a really long way. And you're, again, if you're looking at the overall cost of the job, the actual price of the paint is not usually a massive factor. That may sway you one way or the other, but I just kind of look and see if it's kind of in line with other top tier paints. Also, the Duration line is under the Emerald line of paint from Sherwin-Williams, so it is less expensive than their Emerald line, which in most cases I don't see a need to jump up to that. There are a few special use scenarios that I can go over in the future. Maybe I'll compare the two in another video. With all that being said, Duration Matte is still our go-to wall paint on the majority of our jobs. If you're looking to do some interior painting at your house, maybe on some walls or on your bathroom ceilings, I would highly recommend giving a looky-loo at Duration Matte. It's a super solid choice. I don't think you'd be disappointed. So that is going to do it for me, folks. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And until next time, y'all take it easy, work smart, and have a good one. Peace.
Amazing.